Before video starts, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It is the Father's message to you today that you are unaware of your own power. While you are experiencing a period of weakness, remind yourself that it is the Father in me that does the work. You are not a feeble person. You are not a feeble individual. You are the dwelling place of the Greater One, and all possibility is open to you. I have bestowed upon you a spirit of greatness and a favor that will enable you to accomplish what you set out to do. The authority to persuade, require, and demand that will cause things to get done and cause the deaf ears of the rebellious to hear and obey has been granted to you by me. Do not give in to the feeble justifications offered by the flesh, and do not accept no as an answer. You will have the ability to need and even demand what is due to you as a result of my actions. All of the information that has been hidden from you will be made available to you and rendered up. There will be miracles of provision that come from the sources that are the least expectant. You will suddenly find that things in your life that you had previously considered to be nothing more than a waste of time will suddenly bear fruit and generate something that is truly remarkable. Your expectations should be kept high, and you should be aware that I am working hard to close the books and finalize the agreement, says the Father. In response to your question, what are you doing, Lord? I want you to know that I am providing you with training. This is your training for reigning over others. I will promote you if you are willing, obedient, and motivated to receive the promotion. A calling has also been placed upon your life, and it needs you to put me first in all you do. This calling demands you to be in the midst of challenges and struggles at times. The adversary is attempting to divert your attention and divert you away from my plan, but you must make it a point to determine that you will wait for my finest. It is important to be willing to cut off relationships that are toxic and just serve to frustrate you and test your patience. Do not allow yourself to be diverted or sidetracked. Keep your eyes fixed on me in order to discover the wonderful things that I have in store for you. You are going to be blessed in the future, and as you learn to embrace the strain and the demands of increased responsibility, you will be blessed. You are about to discover new opportunities that are beyond your wildest dreams. Congratulations, as the Father has spoken today. When you walk in my kingdom, you will not be on an infinite journey without encountering significant seasons. These seasons will be marked by the completion of previous assignments and the establishment of new assignments. The Father states that in spite of all that stands in the way of my purpose, you must learn to recognize and cherish the moments when you have become capable of hearing and obeying my voice. The place where confidence is created is not in yourselves, but in my patience, and the fact that I have worked with you and given the required long suffering to get you through the valleys and obstacles that you didn't believe you would survive. This is where confidence is built. It is the Father who declares that the past is the past. As of today, are you prepared to take on a new position? Put your trust in me, and not in the weak arm of flesh, in order to achieve your goals. In spite of the fact that men will always fail you, I will never fail to satisfy your needs in life if you put your faith in me in every aspect of your life. The only way for a man to approach the Father is if I draw him. You were drawn by me. I drew you along with the cords of a man and gave you grace to obey, and I gave you grace to continue to obey in the days that are to come, because you are beloved. Put aside the concepts that have been formed in your head by your rationale and your feelings throughout the years. It is not my thoughts to think about other people. I have something that is considerably more superior in my possession and that I have in store for you. I want you to put your understandings aside and accept everything that I have in store for you. Despite the fact that you cannot see the end outcome, you should be willing to serve. A willingness to go without requiring an explanation in advance is a necessary condition. Because I am God, I am free to do anything I want whenever I want, and I do not need to consult with anybody else about my actions. When you are able to walk with me in that degree of yieldedness and swift obedience, you will experience the immediate blessing of my blessing and the fulfillment of all of my goodwill in your life, both in this day and in the next. A call has been placed on your life, the Father has informed you today. There is no way that you are a person who is content to simply go through life and live for yourself. I have instilled a sense of resolve in your heart and a fire in your stomach, and I have informed you that your life is going to count for something. Carry on with the pursuit of the goal. Make sure that your election and calling are secure. Do not give in to the deceptions that the adversary is spreading. As a form of compensation for what I have in mind for you, the adversary of your soul has presented you with a number of highly alluring options. On a consistent basis, I shall conduct myself in an honest and straightforward manner. There is no way that I will mislead or trick you. My idea is not one that will cause you to descend into a state of depression. Your generosity is being put to use. Your generosity is creating space for you to arrive. I will elevate you to excellent positions. You are about to deliver a speech before monarchs, nobles, and potentates. According to the Father, I am granting you favor with those individuals with whom you are in need of having favor. Because of the characteristics you possess, other people will desire to have you by their side. This kind of promotion might be a heady thing, but remember that you can lose everything in an instant, so make sure that you always put me first in all you do. When you stop trying so hard, I will give you a chance to relax. While you are lying on your back in the midst of the river of life, allow yourself to be carried along by my current. There is a bright future ahead. Tomorrow, I will demonstrate what is going to happen. When you pray to the Holy Spirit, you will be able to see what is coming and know exactly what to do at the appropriate time. Currently, we are in the season of trust, during which the currents of my favor and the rapids of my goodness are rushing you to the center of my will for you in everything. In this day and age, the Father declares, I have placed my tenderness within you. This is not a sign of timidity, rather, it is the mercy heart that I have bestowed upon you. It is possible for me to deal with the tenderness that you possess. There are times in life when you really feel like you need to toughen up. The Father says, you can stay tender in your inner person because I am coming to bring His Spirit into a closer relationship with mine. There are individuals around you who are trying to take advantage of you, but the Father says, you can stay tender in your inner person. There are persons in your immediate vicinity who are making demands that are not legitimate. Refuse to be influenced by others. If you only learn to hold all of those responsibilities loosely and wait on me, you will be okay. Despite the fact that other people are trying to keep you under their control and ensnare you in their issues and battles, you should be aware that this is not my greatest or best plan for you. The Father encourages you to continue loving them on my terms rather than their terms. Don't stop. According to the Father, you must be willing to put aside relationships that are harmful and unproductive in order to wait for what I have in store for you. Never in my life would I cause you damage or bring shame upon you. There is a reason and a strategy that I have for your life. To begin, you should look for a renewed dedication to everything that I have for you, and there should be no conditions linked to this commitment. Permit me to figure out the specifics. Continue to put your faith in me for the outcome. I have made a number of promises to you, and they are beginning to materialize. There is not a single thing that you have requested that I have neglected or forgotten about. It is far closer than you could ever realize, and the greatest is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Today, the Father encourages you to see that you are a lot more admirable individual than you give yourself credit for. To have a spiritual mindset does not mean that you should constantly be putting yourself down and having a negative attitude toward yourself. Throughout your life, you have experienced what it is like to be confronted with adversity and struggle. Ever since you were a very young child, the adversary had the intention of putting you through extremely challenging experiences that would drive you to lose hope and become pessimistic about life. In spite of everything, you have managed to maintain your peace of mind and a straightforward faith, despite the fact that your circumstances and those of your family have been quite challenging. The phrase, "It is time to dream the bigger dream," is spoken by the Father. The fact that you are the best in the world does not disqualify you. There is no reason for you to grovel in shame because of anything. The crucifixion was the place where I dealt with your guilt and your anguish. I took them both on my shoulders. Not a single thing is new. All of the things in your life have been made new by me. I have heard from the Father that this is a new season. Raise your head and allow yourself to be inspired. Prepare yourself for a blessing. Make sure you are prepared for the insignificant things that will bring a grin to your face. Be on the lookout for significant events that will bring about a complete transformation in your perception of the magnitude of my blessing that is accessible on earth. This does not imply that you will not be confronted with difficulties. There are times when even those who are closest to you will not comprehend what I am doing. Refuse to live off of a spirit that has been injured. Always remember to keep a lovely spirit and to love another person without conditions. As the Father says, love is unfailing, and you should never act in a way that is contrary to love in order to accomplish anything. As the song indicates, my love is elevating you to a higher level, and as a result, you will experience a profound transformation, calm, and joy that is beyond anything you have ever experienced before. The Father confirms to you today that you are a Daniel. In the same way that Daniel possessed an exceptional spirit, I have instilled within you an excellence that will allow you to access doors that have previously been closed to you. My call to Daniel integrity is opening doors of favor that are beyond your wildest thoughts. I have called you to keep this integrity. The guy known as Daniel was elevated to the position of serving the king. Who you are is exactly that. I am the king, and you are the one who carries the cup for the king. You have been given the responsibility to witness and demonstrate what the cup of my suffering contributed to in the lives of men. In addition, you are not the only one participating in the activity that I have summoned you to. There were a great number of people in Daniel's immediate vicinity whom he instructed and mentored in the matters of my spirit. The answer is yes, you are obligated to learn, and you are also obligated to share what you have learned with others so that they might persevere even when the flames of misfortune are spreading all around them. It is expected of you to set a good example. Rather of being an example of failure, you are an example of blessing. Are you prepared to receive a blessing? Then submit yourself to this obligation. At this very moment, you are to serve as a model for those who will follow you in the same way that you follow Christ. You are in a position of leadership. You possess the qualities of a leader. You will be followed and listened to by those individuals who will not follow anyone else. A promotion is on the horizon. My knowledge is directing you in such a way that you may be aware of what to do and when to do it. When there are no answers available, you will hear my still, tiny voice, and you will know what to do, and everything will work out for the best. When they realize that your prayers are being answered, other people will seem surprised and amazed. They are going to come to you in order to pray. They won't go to another person, but they will come to you, and you will transform their life in a way that they never thought possible. This is a significant component of the call that my Spirit has placed on your life, and as you give yourself over to receiving it, you will experience a great deal of blessing and benefit in your circumstances. Today, the Father instructs us to prepare ready for a necessary course adjustment. When it comes to life, you have a lot of options and opportunities to choose from. Despite the fact that you do not feel in control of what is going to happen next, you should not resist or be afraid. You are about to enter a period of your life in which even seemingly insignificant choices will have significant repercussions, as the Father has shown to you. Everything should be held loosely. Avoid making any assumptions about what the next step should be. You should put your ears to the track of my word and my purposes, and you should do everything in your power to bring your life into alignment with what I am doing and saying in your life right now. You have a spiritual gifting that allows you to see in the spirit realm, which is not the same thing as psychic ability. Sheep are able to hear my voice. This is not the time to question me, rather, it is for you to be aware that I am in control of your life and the circumstances you find yourself in. Rather than relying on your intelligence or your capacity to deal with what is ahead, the Father encourages you to move on with complete and utter faith in the fact that you will be able to handle things in my way. It is possible that the path you have found yourself on does not appear to be evident to you, yet, it is a path that leads you into the manifestation of being seated with me in heavenly places that are located far above. Now that I have made you a principality on the earth, the Father adds, you should behave as though you are one. Your mouth should be opened, and the rule of God should be allowed to flow from your mouth. Your hand should be open, and you should let the rain of God to flow from your hand. Take a stand. Raise your hand. I am Jehovah God, and I have chosen to covenantally obligate myself in your favor because you are mine and you are my child. Step forward, and I will increase the steps in your route by my rule, and it will be known that I am Jehovah God. I am not going to throw away the resource that you are in the world since you were purchased with a price that is quite valuable. Get ready for awesome things to happen. Get ready for some wonderful things to happen. The Father promises that He will not abandon you, that He will not neglect you, and that He will not let you down. Today, I want you to experience my rest, says the Father. In the midst of the turbulent seas of your spirit, I am delivering a vast peace. Determine that you will always be able to move in a calm and collected manner. It is imperative that you do not become alarmed, regardless of the turbulent waves of situation that may be surfacing. This is the hidden location of the Most High, and you are there. You have made the decision to be humble and contrite, and by doing so, you have entered the express elevator that leads to the elevated location where my spirit resides. Continue to remain there. It is imperative that you do not permit the klaxon ringing of another person's terror to force you out of the location where I place my serenity. Always, whatever of the circumstances, make it a top priority to spend time with me and to fully immerse yourself in my presence. In my dreams, I shall communicate with you. I will communicate with you through visions. I will take you, even by the Spirit, and I will show you all you need to know about the things that are going on behind closed doors and in the shadows. There are fights that come and battles that go, the Father explains. Never act in response to a reaction, this is a must. When my peace leads you, only then should you go out. Put an end to the oppression of what other people will tell you you ought to be doing. Put a stop to it. Stop making an effort to fulfill all of the requirements that you have set for yourself as well as those that others have set for you. Always remember to remain in a position of tranquility. Righteousness, peace, and joy are the hallmarks of my reign. It is not merely bringing peace, rather, it is peace itself. Refrain from allowing anything or anyone to dislodge you from the sanctuary of tranquility. I am going to guide you through each and every test. Your predicament did not come about overnight, therefore you should refrain from asking for answers right away. To exit the procedure, simply walk out. It is not going to be the way you anticipate things to turn out, says the Father. My ideas are not the same as your ideas, but you can put your faith in me to determine the conclusion. My love for you is so strong that you do not need to do anything to earn it. It is because I love you that I adore you. Never will I stop loving you. I promise. There is no way that I will ever abandon you. It is important to remember that I am in charge, and that the opinions of others will not determine the finality of all the positive things that I am bringing into your life. When other people curse you or slander you, just know that I am that person. Today, the Father will tell you to quit berating yourself for mistakes you've made in the past. As a result of the fact that I took into consideration your humanity when I made certain commitments to you, my best purpose for your existence is still available to you in spite of everything that has happened. The act of self-loathing and self-recrimination is analogous to the ritual of a man slaying himself with stones in the graves. In the same way that I spoke deliverance to that guy, I speak deliverance and liberty to you both. After hearing the word, the Gadarene was discovered sitting calmly at my feet, which indicates that he was in his right mind. When you are able to accomplish that without feeling any discomfort, you will know that you have recovered. Feel free to have a seat at my feet as Mary. Learn about the yoke that is easy and the burden that is light by sitting at my feet. Let go of the false burden, the Father instructs us to do. Be not the Martha, who hides in busyness in attempt to drown out my quiet, little voice. Do not try to hide in busyness. To despise or recriminate yourself is not the purpose of this appeal that I am making to you. Move on from the past. You should let the past go, along with all of its errors and misunderstandings. It's possible that you feel that your history is looming over you, yet I am far larger than your history. I am a larger part of your future, and I am trying to bring you to the fulfillment of your deepest, most heartfelt desires and your greatest dreams. It is not possible for you to fix those things that are broken. I will take care of that. Lie down at my feet. Take a deep breath. Become a part of my rest. Have you faith in me? I will handle it from here on out. I will guide you, I will move your body, I will make repairs, and I will take care of everything. Moving, repairing, and managing are all things that I will do. In response to this, you are not to take any action. As a response to the demands of others, you are not to take any action. Your duty is to wait. You are to wait for me to arrive. Each and every day, each and every decision, and each and every action is to be brought before me, to be slept on, to believe me, and to ask me to come and tell you what to do. If you merely move forward in the peaceful confidence that comes from the prompting of my spirit, you will eventually come to know the outcomes that I have promised you in my word. That you will not be diminished is what the Father says to you today. The path that lies ahead for you is not one of decline. It is not a case of loss that you are experiencing, rather, it is a case of breaking through to a better day. Stop judging yourself based on the standards of the opinions of other people. There is something that I have placed in you to fulfill my purpose, but those with small minds will never see it. Get down on your knees and commune with yourself. There, in the hidden location, you will find the lens that I used to stare at the masterpiece that you are from the beginning of time until the present day without fail. I was the one who created you. I was the one who fashioned you. In order to fulfill and become, I released your unformed stuff into the earth. I did not release it in order to falter or fail. In the face of adversity or failure, it is not my hand that provides you with the bread. Leave the spot where you are harboring animosity. Forget about the past. Turn your attention away from the objections of a man who has no idea what I am doing in your life and turn your voice away from them. I invite you to ascend into the pristine environment of my promise and to recognize it as your foundational condition as well as the spiritual home that has been reserved for you. The Father advises you to travel in first class all the way. I do not place any value on deficiency or poverty. My purpose in going into poverty was to teach you about abundance. In order for you to be able to free yourself from the heavy chains of confinement and move forward into the fresh day of my promise, I endured the nails and the thorns. Not everyone will accompany you to that location. There are a lot of people who have drank from the waters of Meribah, and they can only perceive loss. They have adorned the lily of death with their hopes and ambitions, and they intend to bring everyone down with them once they are successful. The message of defeat should be rejected. Affirm the complete promise that my word has made. My goals and the disciplines of my spirit require that you give yourself over to them. You will be revitalized and brought to a place where you can refresh yourself there. It is time for you to let go of the strangling spirit of unbelief. After removing yourself from the grave clothes of uncertainty, take a deep breath, a breath that is full of hope, life, and new promise. I, the Father, declare that this is your part, and that I am the source of your righteousness. The Father has revealed to us today that my sight searches all over the planet in order to demonstrate the might of my arm. It is for this reason, darling, that I will bear my arm in your behalf. In your life, I am flexing my muscle in order to shatter the bonds and the bands that have been trying to restrict you, constrict you, and bring you to destruction. I am doing this while I am bursting the bonds. Through a covenant that will last forever, I have committed myself to you in order to look out for your best interests and welfare. It is important that you put yourself in a position to trust me above all else and that you maintain a place of quiet confidence while surrendering to my word in everything. Be aware that my thoughts are constantly circling around the events that occur in your life, and it is my hope that you will flourish, that you will be in excellent health, and that your soul will achieve success. You are able to be certain that this is unquestionably your share. What if I make a plan for something, but it doesn't end up happening in your life? According to the Father, you are not being destined to live in poverty. When I said that I went poor so that you may become wealthy, how could you ever allow poverty to control you? When I declared that you are cured by the stripes of my Son, is it possible that illness will harm you? It is the efficacy of the blood of Christ that permeates your life, permeates your pores, and permeates your entire body. You will find that it permeates the deepest parts of your spirit and the most inaccessible parts of your mind. I have grace that extends into your past, grace that established your present, and grace that is ensuring your future. There is no need to be concerned about the things that will occur tomorrow, says the Father, for I will be there tomorrow with supplies that you are not aware of. You can rest assured that there will be a supply from the stockpiles of my glory when the struggle of tomorrow arrives. I will fulfill all of your requirements. As you align your expectations with the promises of my word, knowing that my word is ruling over every opposite condition in your life, you will be filled with tremendous joy. I will provide everything that is required to fulfill every need, and your joy will be immense.